In this video, I want to take a look at JigoShop's checkout page and how it works. So we're just about at the end of the process here. We're in our cart. We have our blue Proceed to Checkout button in this particular case. That will vary depending on your theme to a certain extent. All right, now here's our checkout process. Really, this is like a last-minute check on how things are totaled, your taxes. You've got some shipping options, as we'll see. This is where you would put in your billing address. Now, in this particular case, I'm already logged in, so it quickly fills in all my information for me. Let me switch to a browser where I'm not logged in. So here's what someone's going to get right out of the box. They haven't been there before, they haven't got an account or anything. They have the opportunity to log in if they are already registered with your store. And then down below here, it says create an account. Now, if I scroll down here and I check this off, I do have an opportunity to create an account as I'm going along here and entering my information. But I don't have to, because in this case, I'm allowed to check out as a guest. Let's go back over to Firefox here and have a look at our settings. Now, checkout settings are under General here. There aren't many of them. Okay. So right now, and by default, it allows guest purchases. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, it means I can log out without creating an account. Let's uncheck this and see what happens. So let's go back over to our other browser here. And we're going to refresh the page. So now what happens is all the account sign-up form is there. Now, it does leave this box, create an account, and actually this is misleading. You really don't even need this here. It should actually say something else like you must create an account. So for example, if I was to fill out all this information but not fill out the account password and username, I actually couldn't check out. It would give me an error and I would have to fill this in. So this is a bit misleading, but that's what's going to happen when you've gone, if we go back over to here, when you have unchecked Allow Guest Purchases. So let's keep that checked off there, and we're going to save our general changes. Now there's a box here that says Force SSL on Checkout. SSL, of course, is what makes your browser secure when people are entering information. If I check this off, it's going to force it to go there, but I must have an SSL certificate installed, and it reminds you here under this. You just mouse over. You've got to make sure you've got to have an SSL certificate. Now, why would you do this? Well, JigoShop recommends doing it if you're going to collect credit card information, but you never actually collect credit card information on here. That's done at the payment processor, like PayPal and so forth. So personally, I don't think there's any need for it, although some clients, some customers do feel that they're not secure unless they see SSL, even though they're just filling out basic information here. So that's something you're going to have to decide, what do your customers actually want, what's their feedback, and so forth. All right, so that's what SSL means when it's talking about it there. Okay, what we've done here, you've got a separate shipping address. If I uncheck this, I have an opportunity to enter a separate shipping address, okay? But by default, this is checked off. In other words, ship it to the same address as the billing. And in most cases, that's what's going to happen. However, sometimes you might want to totally take away the possibility of having a separate shipping address. I'm not sure what circumstances those would be, but if you go under shipping here, you're going to see only ship to billing address. Now, this is unchecked. But if I check this off, watch what happens. I save my shipping changes. I go back and I refresh my checkout here. Now that option is totally gone and it says billing and shipping. Now, one of the dangers here is that if somebody says, oh, wait a minute, I want to ship this to a separate place, that's going to make their billing address change, and that may not match with their credit card, and they may not be aware of that until they actually get to the payment processor. So typically, you're going to want to leave this unchecked and give people the option to enter that separate shipping address. I mean, it's simple enough, right? There's a checkbox there that says, use my billing address as the shipping address. So I don't think there's any reason personally where I'd ever want to take away that option for people. order notes here. This box can be extended, by the way, and depending on your theme, watch this, the box actually disappeared here. I would have to fix that in my theme using a style sheet, but it's pretty straightforward to do. We'll talk more about that in theming. All right, we come down here. Now, again, I was saying you can check your order here, just make sure everything's okay. One of the things it doesn't have on here is a back button. And I like to see that personally, where it reminds people, hey, if your order's not right, go back to your cart. Now, it's simple enough. I mean, I could just click here and go back to my cart, but I think it would be a nice user-friendly thing to have that ability. One of the things you do here is choose your shipping, okay? Now, again, your preferences will already choose which shipping one you want, but if I drop this down, oh, wait a minute, I don't have any choices. Well, that's because we didn't have anything else selected except flat rate. So let's go back to settings and shipping. Now you notice I've got enable flat rate and I've enabled free shipping, but I haven't met the criteria for free shipping. Now I do have this other option, enable local pickup, and watch what happens now when we go back to our checkout and refresh. Under shipping here, I now have the choice. And if I do that, it recalculates, takes off any shipping costs because now I'm picking it up. If you had more shipping options, like you had some other extensions for JigoShop, those options would show up here, assuming that you had enabled them. Of course, you've got to enable them on this side of things, and then they'll show up when people get to the end. Now you've got the ability to enter a coupon. Now I haven't actually created any coupons for this particular shopping cart, but if I did, the coupon would show up here yet again. It shows up on the cart and it shows up on here as well. So I have a last-minute chance to enter my coupon. If I don't enter it correctly, it gives me the details and so forth. So the only thing with the coupon that's a bit odd is there's no sort of submit button. You simply enter the coupon and then you click away from the box and then things happen. That's not super clear for people. So I don't think that's all that user-friendly myself. All right, finally we're getting down here to payments. And that's something I'm going to cover in a separate video because there's a whole lot of choices you've got here for your checkout page and what payments people can use before they place their order.